Have you ever received a special invitation? You know, the kind with elegant paper and beautiful script. It makes your heart beat a little faster. You are invited, you are chosen, you are wanted. The Bible speaks of the most wonderful invitation ever sent. And it's not for a party or a dinner, it's for a wedding, a royal wedding. The church, that's you and me, all who believe, is the bride. And the groom, he is none other than Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. He is coming back for his beloved. This isn't just a sweet story, it is a profound promise, a holy romance written across the pages of Scripture, a destiny waiting to be fulfilled. This picture of a bridegroom and his bride is so tender, so personal. A groom doesn't just tolerate his bride, he adores her. He prepares a home for her. He dreams of the day they will finally be together, forever. Jesus told his friends, "I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, that where I am you may be also." He is making everything ready. He is preparing a home for his chosen one. The question for us, his church, is simple but deep. Are we getting ready for him? Are our hearts dressed and waiting for the glorious day he returns? Think about a bride preparing for her wedding day. Her thoughts are consumed with the event. She carefully selects her dress. She plans every detail with love and excitement. Her focus is singular, the groom. Her heart longs for the moment she will walk down the aisle and into his arms. This is the heart posture God desires for us. He wants us to be a people whose hearts are captivated by Jesus, a people who are not just going through the motions of life, but are eagerly, joyfully, and lovingly anticipating the return of our groom. He has sent the invitation. He has made the promise. Our part is to respond with a resounding yes, so let this truth settle deep in your soul today. You are part of an epic love story. You are the cherished bride of Christ. He has called you by name. He is coming for you. This isn't a fairy tale. It is the truest reality of our faith. It changes everything. It changes how we see our struggles, how we spend our time, and how we love others. It fills our ordinary days with extraordinary purpose. We are not just waiting for the end of the world. We are waiting for the beginning of our forever with the one who loves us beyond measure. The grandest wedding day is coming. Are you ready? For centuries, a great barrier stood between God and humanity. It wasn't made of brick or stone. It was a thick, heavy curtain, a veil that hung in the temple. This veil separated the holy place from the most holy place, where the very presence of God dwelled. Only one person, the high priest, could pass through it, and only once a year. It was a constant, woven reminder. You are separate from God. Your sin has created a distance that you cannot cross on your own. It was a symbol of a deep and sorrowful separation, a holy God on one side and sinful people on the other. But then came a Friday, a dark and world-changing Friday. On a hill called Calvary, Jesus, the Son of God, hung on a cross. He breathed his last and cried out, "It is finished." At that very moment, something miraculous happened miles away in the temple. The Gospel of Matthew tells us, "And behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two, from top to bottom." Notice the direction, from top to bottom. This was not the work of human hands. This was the hand of God himself, ripping apart the barrier that had stood for so long. God was declaring, "The way is now open. Come to me." The tearing of the veil was God's grand announcement to the world. The separation is over. The debt is paid. Through the sacrifice of his Son, the door into his presence has been thrown wide open for all. No longer do we need a special priest to go before us. Jesus is our high priest forever. No longer do we need to stand at a distance, fearful and unworthy. We are invited to draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith. The torn veil is your personal invitation into the very throne room of grace. It is a symbol of incredible, unconditional access to the Father. Can you feel the wonder of that? The God of the universe tore down the wall to get to you. He wanted you close. He longed for fellowship, for a relationship not based on rules and rituals, but on love and grace. The empty cross and the torn veil are twin declarations of his passionate love. He has done everything necessary to remove what stood between you and him. The path is clear. The door is open. He stands with arms open wide, inviting you to come in, just as you are. The old barrier is gone forever. The question is, have we put up any new ones in its place? God tore the veil, but we are experts at weaving new ones. We have a tendency to put things back between ourselves and God. We don't use thread and fabric. We use attitudes and actions. We weave veils of sin, hiding our mistakes in the shadows, hoping no one will see. We think our secret sins are hidden from God, but they become a thick curtain that darkens our own hearts. We can't see Him clearly through the haze of our guilt and shame. Every time we choose to disobey, we add another thread to this veil, making it harder to feel His presence and hear His voice. Another veil we weave is the veil of deception, especially self-deception. We pretend we are something we are not. We put on a mask of perfection for the world, and sometimes we wear it for so long we start to believe the lie ourselves. This is the veil of pride. We convince ourselves we have it all together, that we don't need help, that we are strong enough on our own. But this pretense keeps us from experiencing the true grace of God, which is given to the humble. We cannot receive His strength when we are pretending to have our own. This veil of pretense keeps us from being truly known and truly healed. Then there is the intricate veil of religion. This one is tricky because it looks so righteous. We can become so focused on following the rules, attending the services, and doing the right things that we miss the relationship. We substitute activity for intimacy. Our faith becomes a checklist instead of a love affair. We know about God, but we don't truly know Him. This veil is woven with traditions, duties, and doctrines that, while good in themselves, can become a barrier when they take the place of a living, breathing connection with Jesus. The groom isn't looking for a bride who is merely dutiful. He is looking for a bride who is deeply in love. Finally, we weave a veil of distraction. Our world is so noisy, so busy, so full of things demanding our attention. Our phones, our schedules, our worries, our ambitions. These can all become threads in a curtain that separates our hearts from God. We are physically present in a moment of prayer or worship, but our minds are a million miles away, lost in the clutter of our lives. God has torn down the great curtain in the temple, clearing the way. Yet, we stand in our own little self-made tents, hiding from the very one who loves us and longs to be with us. We must ask ourselves, what veils am I weaving today? The Bible is full of stories about people hiding behind veils. Think of Jacob. His name means deceiver or supplanter, and he lived up to it. He put on a veil of deception, covering his arms with goatskins to trick his blind father, Isaac, into giving him a blessing that belonged to his brother. He got what he wanted, but he had to run for his life. For years he lived as a fugitive, his deception creating a painful barrier between him and his family. It wasn't until he wrestled with God at Peniel, alone and broken, that his veil was torn away. He walked away with a limp, but also with a new name, Israel, and a face-to-face encounter with God. Jesus told a powerful story about two men who went to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee, a man who wore a thick veil of religion. He stood by himself and prayed, "God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get." He was so busy admiring his own righteousness that he couldn't see God. His veil was woven with pride and self-sufficiency. He was in the house of God, but his heart was far from Him, hidden behind the curtain of his own good works. In that same temple, there was another man, a publican or tax collector. He was a known sinner, despised by society. He stood at a distance, hidden behind a veil of shame. He was so aware of his sin that he wouldn't even look up to heaven. Instead, he beat his breast and said, "God, have mercy on me, a sinner." He had no pretense. He had no religious resume to offer. All he had was a broken heart. And Jesus said it was this man, not the Pharisee, who went home justified before God. Why? Because he allowed his veil of shame to be pierced by his cry for mercy. He came to God without a mask. Then there was the woman caught in adultery. The religious leaders dragged her before Jesus, using her as a pawn in their trap. They hid behind their veil of self-righteous judgment. She was exposed, her veil of sin and secrecy ripped away for all to see. She stood in shame and terror, expecting stones. But Jesus did not condemn her. He knelt and shielded her, then looked at her with eyes of pure grace and said, "Go now and leave your life of sin." In that moment, he saw past her brokenness to the person he created her to be. These stories teach us a vital lesson. God is not interested in our masks, only our hearts. It is possible to have a closet full of church clothes and, honestly, an empty heart. You know, it's possible to know all the right words to the songs, all the correct postures for prayer, and all the dates of the religious holidays, yet still be a stranger to the groom. This is the danger of religion without relationship. Religion can become a beautiful, elaborate costume we wear. It looks impressive. It makes us feel like we fit in. But a costume is not the same as a changed heart. It's just an outward covering that can hide an inner emptiness. The bridegroom is not coming back for a well-dressed mannequin. He is coming back for a living, breathing, loving bride. Jesus warned about this often. He spoke of the Pharisees who clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. They were experts in the art of religious performance. They tithed their spices, said long prayers on street corners, and made sure everyone saw how devout they were. From the outside, they looked like the perfect believers. But Jesus saw right through their polished exterior. He saw hearts that were cold, proud, and distant from God. Their religion had become a thick veil that prevented them from seeing their own need for a savior. We can fall into the same trap today. We can measure our spiritual health by our attendance record. We can feel righteous because we serve on a committee or give money to the church. These are good things, wonderful things, but they are meant to be the fruit of our love for Jesus, not a substitute for it. When our service becomes a duty instead of a delight, we may be weaving a veil of religion. When we are more concerned with what other people think of our spirituality than with the private condition of our soul, the veil is getting thicker. God is not looking for employees to run his organization. He is looking for children to love. So we must ask ourselves the hard questions. Do I read my Bible to check a box or to hear my Father's voice? Do I pray because I'm supposed to, or because I can't imagine a day without talking to my best friend? Do I go to church to be seen or to meet with the living God? The bridegroom knows the difference. He knows when our worship is genuine and when it is a performance. He invites us to take off the costume of religion and simply come to him. He wants our authentic, messy, honest selves. He wants a relationship, not just a ritual. In our modern world, the veils we weave can be incredibly subtle, but wow, powerfully effective. One of the thickest is the veil of constant distraction. We sit in a church service, a place designed for encountering God, yet our minds are buzzing. We're thinking about the email we need to send, the argument we had this morning, the grocery list, or maybe even the game on TV later. Our phones buzz in our pockets, pulling our attention toward a stream of notifications, news, and social media updates. We can be physically present in the house of God, but honestly, mentally and spiritually absent, hidden behind a curtain of digital noise and mental clutter. Another modern veil is the curtain of excuses. We are masters at justifying our sin. We relabel it, downplay it, and compare it to others' wrongdoing to make ourselves feel better. It's not really a lie, it's just a little white lie. Everyone else is doing it, so it can't be that bad. I was just so stressed, I couldn't help but lose my temper. These excuses are threads we weave into a veil of self-deception. They prevent us from seeing our sin as God sees it, as something that hurts him and harms our relationship with him. We cannot be healed of a sickness we refuse to admit we have. Consider the veil of being too busy for God. Our culture celebrates busyness. We fill our calendars from morning to night with work, family activities, hobbies, and commitments. We rush from one thing to the next, fueled by caffeine and ambition. And when it comes to spending quiet, focused time with God, we sigh and say, I just don't have the time. But this busyness is often a choice. It becomes a convenient veil that keeps us from the stillness where God speaks. It allows us to avoid the silence where we might have to confront the true state of our own hearts. We are too busy for the one who holds our very next breath in his hands. This is a gentle but urgent warning. These modern veils, distraction, excuses, busyness, are just as effective at separating us from God as the thick curtain in the ancient temple. They numb our spiritual senses. They choke our intimacy with Christ. The bridegroom is calling to his bride, but she cannot hear him over the noise of her own life. He is reaching for her, but she is too preoccupied to notice. We have to be intentional. We have to be willing to power down our devices, silence our excuses, and carve out sacred space in our schedules to simply be with him. We must choose to pull back these modern veils. Perhaps the biggest reason we hide behind veils is fear. We are afraid that if God or anyone else saw the real us, they would be horrified. We are afraid of being exposed. We are keenly aware of our failures, our secret thoughts, our hidden shame, so we hide. Like Adam and Eve in the garden, we stitch together fig leaves to cover our nakedness and hope that God won't look too closely. We believe the lie that our veils can actually conceal something from the one who created us. We forget a foundational, beautiful, and sometimes terrifying truth: he already sees. The Bible tells us nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. He sees through the veil of religion. He sees through the mask of perfection. He sees through the fog of our distractions and the flimsy fabric of our excuses. He sees the jealousy we hide, the bitterness we nurse, and the fear we deny. He sees every corner of our hearts. There is no part of you that is a mystery to Him. He knows you completely. He knows you better than you know yourself. And here is the most staggering part of the gospel. He sees it all, and He loves you anyway. His knowledge of your sin does not diminish His love for you. In fact, it magnifies the miracle of His grace. The bridegroom knows his bride is not perfect. He knows she is flawed and stumbling. He knows she has stains on her wedding gown. But He chose her. He loves her. He died for her not because she was perfect, but to make her perfect. His love is not conditional upon your performance. His love is the very foundation of your existence. This truth should not make us fearful. It should make us free. You can stop hiding. You can stop pretending. You can drop the heavy burden of keeping up appearances. The groom already knows your heart, and His heart is full of love for you. You don't need to impress Him. You don't need to earn His affection. You can come to Him just as you are, with all your mess and all your broken pieces, and find not condemnation, but compassion. He is not looking for a perfectly fake bride. He is looking for an honest one who is willing to be fully seen so she can be fully loved and fully transformed. The invitation stands. The groom is coming. His desire is to find a bride who is not hiding, but waiting with an unveiled face and an open heart. The Apostle Paul gives us this breathtaking picture, and we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory. To be unveiled is to live in honesty and humility before God. It means dropping the veils of sin, pride, religion, and distraction. It means letting His light shine into every hidden corner of our lives, trusting that His grace is greater than our sin. This is where true transformation happens. It's not in trying harder to be good. It's in being honest about where we are not good and letting Jesus meet us there. It's in the confession of our secret sins. It's in the surrender of our prideful self-reliance. It's in turning off the noise of the world to listen for His quiet voice. Every time we choose to pull back a veil, we see Him more clearly. And the more clearly we see Him in all His glory and grace, the more we are changed to be like Him. We begin to reflect His love, His joy, His peace. We become the bride He is dreaming of. What veil are you holding on to today? Is it a secret habit you're ashamed of? Is it a religious pride that keeps you from admitting your need? Is it the frantic busyness that starves your soul? Is it the fear of being truly known? Whatever it is, hear the gentle voice of your groom. He is inviting you to let it go. He is not asking you to clean yourself up before you come to Him. He is asking you to come to Him so He can make you clean. The price has been paid. The original veil has been torn. Do not let a new one stand in the way of the love and freedom He offers. Let's make this our prayer today. Jesus, I want to be ready for You. Search my heart. Show me the veils I have woven. Give me the courage to tear them down. Come boldly into His presence. Let His gaze of love fall upon you. Let Him see you, truly see you. There is no shame in the presence of perfect love. There is only healing, only freedom, only transformation. Let us be a people with unveiled faces, reflecting His glory to a watching world, and waiting with joyful expectation for the day when we will see our wonderful bridegroom face to face. The wedding feast is being prepared. Let's make sure we are ready. If this message encouraged you, follow Increase Jesus for more faith-based content and inspiration. Stay connected as we continue to grow in faith together.